reversed. Game on.
And it was a match start at double 16, but you know, Viljanen was 4 from 6 on his doubles as he established a 4-2 lead. He put himself into a good position in the first place.
100.
I mean, Ratajski's downfall was he approached the board needing tops and he hit a single one with his first dart. He managed to get a dart at double 16, but he missed that anyway. And that was his undoing. And Viljanen pounced all over it.
60.
Well, look, Kim was averaging 105 halfway through that game. He was playing absolutely spectacular stuff. It did drop the performance level, but
60.
He found a way to get over the line. And if he can reproduce the sort of stuff that he had in the first 5 or 6 legs against Krzysztof Ratajski in the opening round, then Peter Wright has got problems. And Peter Wright is a man who's averaged nearly 120 on a big stage before. Did that in the Premier League. At the time, it was the second highest televised average we'd ever seen.
59.
So we know Peter Wright can blow anybody away. He won a Euro Tour final 6-0 against the world number 1 Michael van Gerwen earlier this year. We know he can do that, but he doesn't do it every single time he takes the stage. And if Viljanen can fire in an average round about the ton and take his chances, he has got more than a puncher's chance. He's way ahead in the Scandinavian League standings. And he says it's helped his game as Peter Wright looks at treble 17. Does he go for it? He does, and he wasn't far off. Peter Wright looking to start this one in style.
Yeah, fair to say that Kim is struggling to keep pace here.
46. He required 25.
So Peter Wright with all the time in the world to find this 25. 2 bites at double 8 here. And he has the first leg on the board. Now, despite a third round defeat by Christo Reyes in Hamburg, Wright is still top of the European Tour Order of Merit for 2017. But if Michael van Gerwen wins the title here, then Michael van Gerwen will be the top dog in Europe. Peter Wright is targeting a 5th European Tour title of his career, a 4th for this year. But you have to go back a long way for the last time Peter Wright was beaten in the second round of a European Tour event. In fact, Dan Dawson named the last man to beat Peter Wright in the second round of a Euro Tour events. It was in 2015.
Oof.
It was almost 2 years ago.
My word. Was it? Oh.
140.
Was it in Dusseldorf the year he was defending his title there?
It was, yes.
But who did it? Is it Devon Peterson?
Absolutely, bang on the money. That is why Dan Dawson is the best in the business.
Right, that's it. Mic drop. I'm happy. It's not getting any better than that.
6-5 in the last 32 of the European Darts Open.
100.
So what's Peter Wright been up to since Hamburg? Well, he suffered the last 16 defeat by Rob Cross, that man again. We keep on talking about Rob Cross even when he's not playing. And also a defeat by Vincent van der Voort in the PCE events in Wigan last weekend, the Players' Championship events last weekend in Wigan.
Oh, he's not going to do it, is he?
He is.
Oh, this time doesn't get the treble 17. And I think we've already established that Peter Wright would have gone for the bullseye just as he did in the first leg. Absolutely loves a 161. It's fair to say that the Finn has not started in the same manner that he did against Krzysztof Ratajski.
Yes, it was always going to be a tall order to carry on where he left off yesterday as Peter Wright takes out the 78 checkout for a 2-0 lead. Winner of this to face Chris Dobey in the third round tomorrow. Dobey, he's only dropped 1 leg this weekend. 6-1 against David Pallett yesterday, 6-0 against Bunting earlier today.
Yeah, I know Bunting wasn't feeling great, to be honest, but even so, Chris Dobey getting the job done, and 6-1 and 6-0 wins have been in short supply for Chris Dobey of late, so
yeah, very welcome.
It's nice to see him back in the winner's circle, and potentially, who knows, you know, those confidence-boosting wins, the fact that he's not got
100.
That sort of anxiety of waiting for his first kid to be born, which he said has weighed heavily on his mind over the last few weeks. Maybe now that's all out of the way. Chris Dobey can get back to playing the sort of darts we saw from him for significant chunks of last year. If so, we could have a heck of a game between him and whoever comes through this one. Right now, it is looking like Peter Wright.
100.
Little exasperation on the face of Peter Wright there. Well, Viljanen is averaging about 75 at the moment. It's nowhere near the required product. Wright's average is way over 100. Almost 30 points between them at this particular moment in time. Well, over 30 points. Look at that, what a gulf.
Well, even if Kim was playing as well as he was against Christoph in the first few legs of his game with him in round one, he would be struggling to live with Peter Wright, who keeps leaving 161 like he wants to hit it more than anything. Again.
Not this time.
This is the treble 17, but once again he's going to come back. If Viljanen doesn't take out the 67. Tops. Gets a leg. Killer finishing for the Finn.
Will Black Peter to throw first. Game on.
And a reminder, we will see Kim next weekend as well in Leverkusen for the 8th European Tour events of the year. He secured his place in Leverkusen by beating the Latvian Maras Razma in the qualifier in May. They had a cluster of qualifiers in Oslo for this one, for Leverkusen and for Maastricht as well.
125.
It really is that warm. There are fans all over the place. Actually, it's baking inside here, isn't it?
It's a hot one. Always is, these evening sessions with sold-out crowds on the European Tour. Around about 2,300 fans in here. That's similar to the numbers that you used to get in Ali Pali when it was sold out before they changed the hall round and increased the capacity.
Yeah.
I mean, we're talking serious numbers. This is what the Euro Tour has become. You know, some of the venues are going to, the crowds are only bettered by Premier League crowds. As that one spat out the board.
Yeah. Well, Kim says he will be going home in between this and Leverkusen. He does have a day job as well.
141.
So quick return to Helsinki and then back to Leverkusen next weekend.
Yeah, he lives in a place called Fanta, doesn't he, near Helsinki? Works for Mitsubishi, I understand.
87.
Says that he's not in a position to give the full tour a go, but the Nordic and Baltic tour, which he's currently dominating, does give him competitive action on a pretty regular basis, and he believes it's helped his game improve.
And it's also been an avenue into the World Championship for him as well. Peter Wright then double 10 for a 3-1 lead. Well,
34.
Kim stepping back up, looking at 59 for a break of throw to level the match at 2-2. 2 goes at tops. Kim only needs 1, and we're level once again.
And that
surprise, because
it's a break of throw.
Break of throw. We talked about that gulf in the averages, but all of a sudden that really doesn't matter.
14 dart hole, 15 dart hole, 14 dart break. Peter Snakebite Wright, who is still averaging almost 107, finds himself pegged back to 2-2. And Kim Viljanen hasn't panicked. Doesn't look like a man who ever panics, to be honest. I think you could probably set Kim on fire, and I don't think he'd panic. Just sort of have a look around, see the flames burning up around his nostrils and hair, and then question why exactly they happened and what he's going to do about it now.
Well, he's going to throw a 1080 maybe. I switched. And that's as good as a 1080 anyway.
Stand up if you love the darts, echoing around the multiversum here in Vienna.
91.
But the crowd favourite, Peter Snakebite Wright, and he is a crowd favourite everywhere he goes in the world. Well, he's not having things all his own way here, because Viljanen is 90 points clear, looking to go 3-2 up in this one. Well, that lead is being eroded very, very quickly. And surpassed.
140.
Peter Wright unable to take out the 161 so far in this game. Doesn't need to mess around with those awkward treble 17s with this one, does he?
60.
Two double 20s for the bullseye.
70.
So good. So very good. Oh,
132.
Peering at the board there and questioning how that final dart was so far away from the bullseye. Wright will be back though.
58. If you require 38.
straight at it, or does he split? Straight at it, straight in.
Peter
Breaks back immediately to take control of this game once more, Peter Wright.
Six flag, Peter to throw
13 dart break as
Game
well.
on.
Very efficient scoring in this one. Nothing over a 15 dart leg so far.
60.
Yeah, lovely stuff.
Bang on cue, there's the graphic to prove the point. Now then, plenty of room for one more, right down the middle. Well, it wasn't right down the middle, but it'll do. Well, his average has picked up by 10 points or so over the last. Peter Wright is still very, very healthy indeed. 4 perfect darts. Kim Viljanen, 5.
Oh,
Come on! Would have been the third time this weekend we've seen somebody put in 2 perfect visits back to back at the start of a leg. Alan Norris went 7 darts into the 9. Andy Jenkins went 6 darts into the 9. Kim Viljanen only going 5. Say only, but he's giving himself a real opportunity to break the throw and level it up once more.
Oh, he's in great shape here. Could have done with the treble there though, but even so.
519s will leave the 170 again for Peter Wright. Yep, that's exactly what he's got, and he missed the bullseye last time for it, so Kim knows he's getting close to taking out one of these enormous finishes. Oh, needed a treble 17 himself.
34.
Ooh, that's a shame. Now then.
If you recall, 170.
Well, last time he attempted this, he got the first 2 parts of the equation sorted out, but he missed the bullseye. Could be on a similar pathway here. Bullseye for a 4-2 lead. Closer, but not close enough this time.
For the 4th time in this match, Peter Wright leaves himself an enormous check out where he needs to use the bullseye.
Tops for Viljanen. Sorry, bullseye.
A shot in the six flag.
That's how you
Nicely
hit the
done.
bullseye, Peter Wright. 3-3.
Showing the way.
7 flag, Kim to throw first.
Break back.
Game on.
See, Peter Wright, not a happy bunny. And just he expects...
100.
Nobody expects to take out a 170 or a 161, but Peter Wright, having left 161 twice and 170 twice, and he's given himself darts at bullseye to take them out, he just thinks, I should have hit... He'll be thinking, I should have hit all 4. But realistically, in his heart of hearts, he probably thinks he should have hit a couple of them.
Yeah.
60.
It's been a really strange match, this.
I mean, there is 20 points in the averages here, but I mean, Kim was obliterating the first couple of legs. But he is
95.
just sticking with Peter. I mean, he's managed to break the throw twice.
Not many people have done that on the European Tour this year against Peter Wright.
78.
Now then. Real chance to kick on here. Real chance to kick on. Oh, absolutely marvellous. Viljanen down to 66 to take the lead
Peter Wright
for the first time.
Is in danger.
98. Give
Here.
me by 66.
He seems to have just been dragged into a real battle by stealth by Kim Viljanen. Double 18. And there it is. Double 18. The Finn is in the lead.
Peters, you throw first. Game on.
Well, what a story in the making here in Vienna. The number 2 seed, Peter Wright, the winner of 3 Euro Tour titles this year, the current number 1 in the European Order of Merit, the man who's made the best ever start to a calendar year by himself, and all of a sudden, having established a 2-0 lead with barely breaking sweat, suddenly finds himself 4-3 down, and still this gulf in the averages as well, but it doesn't seem to count for anything at the moment in time.
Well, the fact is, Kim Viljanen has not missed a dart at double yet. It is deadly finishing from the Finn, and Peter Wright, well, he's basically... Kim Viljanen is doing to Peter Wright what Peter Wright did to Benito van der Pas in the final of the German Darts Open, where Benito van der Pas went berserk and averaged 110 and still lost 6-5 to Peter Wright, who missed 1 dart at double at the very start of the match and then did not miss a double for the rest of the match.
And Kim has stolen the darts here as well.
100.
And he's down to a finish first.
And how much would it hurt Peter Wright, having missed the bullseye 3 times for enormous checkouts, if Kim Viljanen took out an enormous one himself to break the throw and go 5-3 up? Oh, that is not what you want to see at this point.
Wow.
He's not down to a finish. He doesn't even have to use the bullseye.
6 darts from here for Kim Viljanen.
97.
64 remain. Kim Viljanen to produce one of the most astonishing results we've seen on the European Tour. To put himself within a leg of victory against the world number 3 and a man who's won 3 of these European Tour titles this year. Well, 17. Tops. First start at double that Kim Viljanen has missed. And Peter Wright is on 80. And these are the sorts of checkouts that Peter Wright has made it his business to take out in clutch situations. They're the finishers that have propelled him to his first major title this year, the UK Open. Dragged him up to number 3 in the world. Double 10 has to go. But does it go?
Big deep breath for Kim Viljanen now as he steps up, looking at double 10 himself. Oh, well, double 7 instead, and he hit double 7 yesterday twice, I think, and he finds it. And he's now 1 leg away from advancing to round 3 and dumping out the number 2 seed Peter Wright in what would be surely one of the biggest wins of his career.
He was drawn against Michael van Gerwen at the World Championship. The world number 1 dispatched Viljanen with very little problem. He was drawn in the second round against Gary Anderson last time out on the European Tour last year. And again, he was dumped out by the world number 2, 41, without really breaking much of a sweat, the Flying Scotsman. But Kim Viljanen is causing the world number 3, Peter Wright, all sorts of problems. He told us last night, Kim, that this is why he comes to these tournaments. He wants to play against the best. I know he's had a couple of towellings from 2 of the biggest names in the game, but he's gone toe-to-toe with another one of them tonight, and he may yet emerge victorious.
Well, it was name your price for Kim Viljanen as far as the bookies were concerned at the start of this one. OK, he's not there yet, but this would be a massive, massive upset. Chance here, though, for Peter Wright to get back on terms, or at least rescue the situation to an extent by breaking back here.
140.
Done 40, not enough to leave a finish. Viljanen knows he needs 3 big trebles, and that's not going to happen. So Peter Wright happily take another ton 40 here to leave himself tops. Crowd trying to lift their man, but it's not the bouncy,
60.
noisy atmosphere we usually associate with a Peter Wright game on the European Tour.
Lead 120.
Well, this one may be beyond him now.
60.
Peter Wright looking to hit tops to leave tops there, at least giving it a chance. Curious decision. I mean, he could have been in danger of throwing that out the board. It might cost him a dart at a double.
Yeah, with Viljanen on 2-4-3 as well.
40.
Well, it won't matter anyway.
He requires 60.
20 for tops for Peter Wright to get one of the 3 legs that he needs. Exactly what he's got.
Peter Wright.
And he does have the throw in this one. A holder throw, we're going the distance. But Viljanen, I don't even know whether the bookies say Peter Wright's favourite. I don't even know. Who wins this?
Game on.
Betting and running, Peter Wright 5-4 on, Viljanen 11-10 on. So they still, well, it's fluctuating all the time. They've got Peter Wright as the favourite now, despite that opening visit there.
Well, Kim Viljanen knows he would have the throw in the deciding leg, and he knows that a 12 darter, which he is quite capable of producing, 12 darter would almost certainly be enough. Peter Wright would have to throw only the 3rd 9 darter of his professional career to better that. But even a 15 dart leg in the decider could be enough to get the job done. He could yet get it done in this leg, but he's playing catch up already.
Yeah. I don't think he's already thinking about the 11th leg, but it looks as though we may be heading that way. Just needs to try and rediscover the habit of hitting trebles anyway ahead of the final leg. Should we require one?
Just had to think there, didn't 77 left, so treble 19 is the shot. I think he was looking at the 17s there, Peter. Well, he's at least down to a finish, so Peter Wright is being asked the question here. Does he have the answer? Double 10.
Not been convincing on double 10 tonight, Peter Wright, whenever he's been heading that way. Now then, won't be. It will not be.
60.
Just
He required 20.
Double 10 once again.
Yeah, but Peter Wright looking at double 10 here to take us into a decider. That is exactly where we are going. Into an 11th and final leg for the right to play Christobie in round 3 tomorrow here at the Austrian Darts Open. Viljanen with a throw first.
And what a first dart.
What a first dart that was. What a second dart as well. Fill it up. Why not?
180 number 3 for Kim Viljanen. The perfect start to a last leg decider. Can he produce the biggest win of his career? Knocking out the world number 3 on the European Tour stage and booking his place in the final day of action. We have seen Finnish players make the final day. Remember, Jarkko Kamula had a run. Dutch Darts Masters in Veldhoven made the quarterfinals one year. Look at this, every single leg in 5 or 6 visits to the board. It has been neat and tidy stuff. Perhaps not the explosive stuff that Peter Wright was hinting at when he was averaging 110 halfway through this game. Oh, not again. Again, it's happened to Peter Wright. Clattering into the flights. It's cost him points. He's 100 behind.
Plus these. Can he find the treble just to extend that cushion? Well, it could have been better. OK, he's down to a finish first. 1-6-1. Plays 3-2-1.
He needs to fill this up. Needs to do it. Isn't going to. He's not down to a finish. Kim Viljanen knows he has 2 visits to see off 1-6-1.
Well, what an opportunity this is for Kim Viljanen. 6 darts in hand here at least. Lovely first dart again.
Staying up there.
Sensible.
95.
95 scored, 66 remain. He took out 66 earlier on in this game on double 18. That was to go into the lead for the first time. Kim Viljanen, he's nearly 15 points behind in the averages, but he has gone toe-to-toe with 65. One of the best players in the world, one of the form players in the world in 2017. 20. For double 18 to knock him out. He has done it! Kim Viljanen with one of the biggest shots on the European Tour, not just in 2017, but since its inception 5 years ago. The Finn finishes off the world number 3, and it's an early exit for Peter Snakebite Wright. Viljanen through, and he will take on Chris Dobey for a place in the quarter-final. An astonishing result. Guts, tenacity, grit, it had the lot. And Kim Viljanen, 6 out of 8, 75% on his doubles. That won him the game.